Sabrina.
Shawnee.
Chase.
It's your girl Shay.
And we got time today.
And tomorrow.
And the next day.
And next month. Alright, what we got time for today, y'all?
Y'all, this is officially episode 2. Can we just clap it up for that real quick?
I know what I got time for.
What do we got time for?
So did y'all's parents, growing up, listen, did y'all's parents punishing y'all ever literally tell you, which one?
We gotta talk about, wait a minute.
Wait. Can we clear the board real quick?
Wait.
Clear.
We gotta talk about, today we got time for black households in the late 90s to early 2000s, okay? Because I feel like we all lived the same childhood.
I used to get
I don't care
choke
when
slammed.
Man, boom, boom, to the chest.
And
You didn't even get a word in.
Let's took my breath away.
Damn, I just came in after the street lights. I don't think I needed to be
This
for that.
stuff is not funny. It's very traumatizing.
It is
Well,
now.
was traumatizing.
You learned to cope with humor. You know,
Yeah,
we all,
we all
you know.
Yeah, but it's sad because nobody should have experienced this, and we didn't realize until we were adults that we all
We were getting
experienced the same. Yeah, we all experienced the child abuse basically.
I disagree. I need it.
Yeah.
I feel like men didn't
I
need
ain't
it,
gonna
though.
say.
now looking at this new generation,
Yeah.
I see why.
Yeah,
Men definitely need
kids
to
get
abuse
choked
more than
slammed.
women.
Yeah, if I didn't have my dad there, I'd have gave Rhonda the blues.
Yeah.
I'd have gave my mom the blues.
I was an asshole regardless. I continue to be an asshole, and I still got my
I
ass
feel
beat and
like
said I was
boys
an asshole.
definitely.
Nah, I was a good at two shoes. I ain't like getting in
For
trouble.
sure.
Like we used to
But
get
no.
full.
I was scared.
I remember Chase used to be so scared when he heard his dad call his name because it was just like he had the bass in his voice was crazy. So one day we were upstairs chilling and we heard Uncle Shannon. He's like, Chase! And then, but he, depending on how he calls his name, he knows he's about to get a whooping.
Mm-hmm.
So that day he knew the way his dad called his name, he was about to get a whooping. So this boy put on 2 pair of long johns, a pair of pajama pants, and he put jeans on over top of that. While when my Uncle Shannon was whooping him, he wasn't crying. So he's like, pull your pants down.
He was on me. He was on
Got layers on.
me. He was on me, dog. I said,
And he said that he had all the pants off, and he made him go take all the pants off.
That done got you in more trouble than you was already in.
I was trying to save my shit.
I'll never forget that.
Oh, you thought you was wise?
But look, the crazy thing is though, like as many times as I got my ass whooped growing up, like I don't have like no resentment towards my dad. Like I would never like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got my ass whooped, like boom. Like there was a couple times I'm getting the chest bow. My mom was like, shit, stop. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking me up. I was doing wild shit though.
Doing hot boy stuff.
Yeah, I was
You were a YN back then.
I was. Yeah. So, I was definitely deserving. Like 14, 15, I was smelling my But at the same time, though, I would never like if he didn't do that. My whole trajectory of life might have been different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it literally might have been different. Like I was doing shit that was like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's like I kind of like over those times, like it made me respect and not want to do those things. I don't want to make him. It's not even the fact of him like the him physically hitting me or anything like that. It's the fact I didn't want to make him not mad, like he was upset with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more the respect that I don't want to make my dude because he does a lot for me at the same time. Like so, I have to balance out everything that he does for me that is right, that is great, that is helping me become a solid man compared to the stuff I'm doing wrong and why he has to chastise me in these ways. You know what I'm saying? So I had to balance it out and actually like, okay, no, this is my dude. Always my guy. But
now that worked for you because your parents did it with love. But like, do y'all feel like
No, my mom did it with
certain
anger.
ways with discipline plays on like the psyche of
Yes. Literally,
the child
so
and how it affects
like
the
it
child
does.
later in life because like for example, like a lot of men don't have like, or they're not in tune with their emotions or and how to process them, and like how to process anger. I feel like a lot of the times we learn violence is the answer to most stuff through like the way we were disciplined and raised. What do y'all think? Like, what's y'all?
I mean, even in slavery, we brought up where it's like violence is how we're going to, get things done to get done. Like,
And the sad part is, like, growing up, obviously, just like Chase, I was a badass kid. I was like that damn David or no David book. Like, Sabrina, why are you, like, stop it. Like, I was doing some, like, really crazy stuff. Not even, like, as a teenager, as a kid. It's one thing to try and punish your child so that they are redirected in another way. Like, again, punishing or disciplining with love. And again, I'm not saying this to disrespect my mom. I love my mom. Me and my mom are very close. But, like, my mom used to do stuff where I would get locked in the basement as a punishment with the lights out. Knowing that my mom knowing that I hated the dark, petrified. I was screaming, crying. Like, there was a time, and this is embarrassing, but I peed on myself. And my mom still left me in the basement. Because I was on punishment for not even something that was really bad. It was literally, I just said I was not doing something. So, like, stuff like that, I feel like should not have happened. You could have easily just whooped my ass and told me to go sit in my room. Instead, I was told to go into the basement, told to sit on the bottom
Just
step.
listen to me, like,
Yeah.
because they always be quick to like, no, I said what I said, and
Exactly.
you don't know what you're talking about because you're the child, and it's like you don't even
to
want to. You can't say nothing. Yeah, if I say something where I defend myself, you're being disrespectful. Like, who are you? Like, why are you talking back to me? Like, it's like I had to literally learn how to communicate my emotions over and over again because at one point I was so afraid to because I didn't know what my reaction was.
Oh my
from
gosh,
it.
I swear. And then my mom used to get mad when I didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she's like, well, why aren't you talking to me? I swear I'm not going to get mad. And then I'll say what I'm really thinking, and she'll get mad.
Mm-hmm.
So then after a while, I just stopped talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she felt a way about that, but it was like, I mean, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not say nothing.
Just don't say nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that the generation before us, since they were raised a certain way, they, like, a lot of people forget, like, kids are humans.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do get
And
it.
they're
They have
learning.
their
They're
own
learning,
lives,
yep.
they're
And a lot of
learning. And a lot of times behaviors come from, like, lack of attention or just something simple that could be easily fixed on the parents' part, too.
They just don't know how to express what they need.
And it's
Right.
like, granted, they definitely, like, even like my mom, she took from what she had growing up, and she didn't like some things from that. Like, we would say the same thing. And she did better. Like, so she, in some aspects, she definitely did very, very much better than what she said she was brought up on. But it doesn't neglect the fact that there's still also things that probably didn't go according to how you should have went about it. And I have to also, you have to also, like, be mindful of both sides. Like, okay, you did great in a lot of areas, and that's not knocking that. But in these areas, it did impact me a little bit.
But I don't like gentle parenting either.
Gentle parenting don't work.
I don't like that either.
Gentle
I
to
feel
the
like gentle
balance.
parenting
Yeah.
works for like 2% of kids.
Like, I don't think it's the do-all, but I think there's definitely a balance. Like, if you get to a certain point, I'm sorry.
Well, so for
I gentle
example,
parent the first 3 times.
Yeah.
so like my brother, he gentle parents my nieces, but his gentle parenting, he makes them do workouts. He's not abusing them. They're literally
beneficial.
It's beneficial because they're not bad. They're not talking out. They're not doing things out and doing whatever. Literally, if they do something that they're not supposed to, they run up and down the hill 4 times. They hate it, so they don't do it. Or he makes them do wall squats. And if y'all don't know what wall squats are, look them up. They are painful. And my nieces are 8 and 11. So, like, they're doing that as gentle parenting. And I even told him, I was like, that's gentle parenting. He was like, no, it's not. I'm like, you're not whooping their asses for them to listen. You're actually doing something that's benefiting them, one, because it's keeping them physically healthy, but also, two, it's getting them to do something that they hate so badly that they would rather just listen than not do that. So that's a form of gentle parenting. A lot of people don't even realize that. That they think gentle parenting is just like, you sit in the corner over there and think about what you did.
For black people, that's gentle as fuck.
Yeah, that's exactly. I told someone that.
it's beneficial. Like we all know I work with kids. Like so I see the difference in the school, even in the school system, and how they handle things where they're yelling and they're going about it a certain way, and they still end up doing the same thing. And how I might, say, okay, like I'm going to reflect on first off, okay, I'm gonna acknowledge like you're upset, and that is okay that you're upset. I'm not knocking that. But when you did it this way, did it benefit you the last time you did it? No. So how could you do this differently? It's just helping them navigate through those emotions. As the adult, you have to be that person to do that. So
they need someone.
it's like my first thought is for the gentle parenting part is I'm going to ask questions, I'm going to listen, I'm going to acknowledge their emotions, I'm going to make sure they know like, okay, it's valid, but you need to know how to communicate it and acknowledge it. And then if you were taking things too far, then sometimes the gentle parenting don't work. So it's like I just think there's a level, but I think it should start off as gentle parenting at the very least. Before you realize, okay, that doesn't work. What other aspect can I try? If that don't work, then it's like, all right, maybe you gotta learn it the hard way. And that's just what it is. Like it's just what it is. Oh shit.
Well, as it relates to like young men and like young boys, like what do you think the balance is with that? Because most boys are raised to not be emotional, not cry and things like that. So what do y'all?
Well, for real, I think we should ask Chase and Ty
Yeah,
that.
let's
Like,
start
as
with it. Let's
boys
start with
growing
y'all.
up, what do y'all think that you needed to feel heard and actually
Be like,
Yeah.
not things suppressed. But
They said I really needed an ass whooping. You know what I mean? I didn't appreciate
That's not
it.
what
That's
I thought we were trying to go backwards.
I mean,
that's real.
That's what I'm
That's
really
real.
that's what it is. Like,
Thank you.
I'm not gonna sway from that because they want to, like in a sense, sometimes want to maybe coddle someone's feelings in a sense or something like that. But I needed those ass whoopings. I didn't like it then. You know what I mean? I'm talking my shit. You know what I mean about my granddad then. Like, you know what I mean? But now as a man, as an adult, I appreciate that, and I really needed that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it started off, I guess, as you would say, gentle. Like, you let me know what it was. Like, and if I didn't abide by that later, if I was acting out, consequences. You know what I mean? It was a progression type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? So still parenting how it was necessary. See that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's the lack of real men in the households. You know what I mean? It just falls in line with that.
It's a real fine, like with a little boy to his dad, like there's a real fine line between fear and respect for your father. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you gotta, as a dad, you gotta like play that real streamline. Like, you can't let a little, because eventually a little boy gonna get 13, 14, 15, and that's when it starts to get like, that's when it starts to get bad, because now it's like he feels like he's becoming a man. So it's like now this is the age to where you're gonna talk back. You're gonna be more rebellious. You're gonna go against what they say. You're gonna think you know more than they know at that age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even me at that age, like I was 13, 14, 15 years old, and like even Tadno, we were selling guns at 14 and 15 and 16. Like, if the one time my dad caught me with 2 guns, and I'm like, the one gun I stole it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if he would have allowed me to do that, he wasn't there. My mom couldn't stop me. You see what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing that she could do. I didn't care what she said at that time, 14, 15. I don't care what you say. But it was when it came to him, it's like, I can't. Let me you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a difference in like, I know that this is because he was always there. It's different. I feel like it's different if your dad's not in your life on a regular basis, and how you feel towards him based on how much energy and attention that your father gives you. But since my dad was there all the time, I couldn't not, like I said, come back to the balance thing. I had to respect a certain level because he allowed me to be a free thinker. He allowed me, like, my parents never, like, not even my dad never told me not to do something. Like, they always allowed me to do what I wanted to do. They never pushed me to do anything. Like, yes, they never said, oh, you're going to play football. Oh, you're going to be in a choir. You're going to do that.
Which is good.
They always allowed me to, you want to do that? All right, once you do it, you know you can't quit because you wanted to do this. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see it all the way through and understand this is something that you wanted to do and understand why you don't want So it's like these is all things that my dad taught me and my parents taught me. But at the same time, it's once you start getting to that stage to where I'm losing myself, y'all. I lost it.
Well, is there
Lost
anything
it.
like, okay,
So I have
I
a
get that y'all took positive things, like, but what do you feel like, you think that like, there's things that you have to go out and learn on your own because
Oh yeah, there's no parents are perfect. You're not gonna learn nothing. You're never gonna learn everything you need to learn from just your parents. It takes the village. So you gotta have the support system along with your parents. Provide the right environmental setting that you need to get the optimal mind state. Yeah.
So that's why, you know,
because like
it's
for us,
important
we were
parents.
saying that we had to learn like how to communicate,
Right.
because we didn't get that out.
It's like
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
they kind of put it off as like this is how it has to be done, and it's like it doesn't come off as though my perspective myself might not be right. It is what's right, rather than okay, yours might also be right, and there could be other things that might work other than what I'm telling you.
Right.
And I think that's where the disconnect I've had, at least, where it's like, I hear you, you're smart, but I'm also smart. Like I know what I'm talking about. I've had my experience, and mine might actually make sense as well. Like just not, that force of it has to be this way, and if not, I'm disappointed.
then you're in trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, like your parents, yes, they did discipline you, like how black parents do, with the belt and all that physically.
Mhm.
But they also let you be a free thinker. They let you tell them how you feel, and they let you make some decisions that they felt that you were capable of making.
That's not common.
Yeah, like
At all.
that's not.
No,
That leads me into the
No, I
question of, as men, were you guys raised to be like boys can't cry? Like that's like emotionless, really.
Not necessarily that I can't cry, but don't act like no ass little boy.
But that's
That's
the same thing.
All right, so let me
They might not know
let me
what
check
it is.
that.
Hold on.
Let me go ahead.
So my thing about that is right. So I'll give an example that I could give right now. My son exaggerates. He's what 3? No exaggeration, little boy. You know what I'm saying, and I'm making sure like I'm growing him out of that so it doesn't become a problem in the long term because all right, so he had I guess failed the other day. Got to cut it with okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it was that. But he was saying that it hurts or whatever. And he wanted a band-aid because he knew that female was there to baby him. And I'm looking and he's saying whatever leg it was, but it was completely opposite side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like that. It's like he's acting like he's crying. Like we're not doing that. And we're not doing it. Like if you have a tangible reason, I'm saying you're going to have your emotions there, but far as trying to get coddled and babied, how this society will do it. You're going to be a man. You're not going to be.
Well, we're not saying that. What we're trying to say is, okay,
When
for
there's a
me,
reason
I feel
to
like,
cry.
I feel like if I had a child and my child was crying, a little boy, little girl, whatever, but especially with a little boy, or any gender, for real, it's like, okay, you're crying. Why are you crying? Have them tell you, and help them process the whole thing, and then you tell them, oh, you're okay, like, or let me check it out. Okay, you're okay.
Come up with a solution
And
on
then
our own.
you keep going. But I feel like the whole boys can't cry thing
Or
is just
stop crying.
that's
I'm getting some crap out.
Yeah, I feel like that's how like the older generations grew up. Like I know a lot of men that grew up having to like have that in their mind.
Yeah.
When there's an actual reason to cry, it's like I can't cry, I'm a man type.
Yeah.
And then when men do that and they bottle it inside, it comes out in other ways.
Right.
You know,
Or they're now
because
30
there's
and they don't know
more
how to
emotions
express it.
other than sadness. There's more emotions besides sadness. There's anger, there's anxiety, there's depression, there's all that. So it comes out when you tell a man he can't cry or a boy he can't cry. it comes out in other ways.
I'm gonna be
Afterwards.
completely real. Back to recall, I've never seen my granddad cry. However, that does not
Sorry.
mean that he never cried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't go. I'm with him. I never seen my dad. I
That's
seen my
exactly
dad
the
cry
point.
one time in life.
Yeah, so that goes into a man absolutely have to in the presence of our family that we're trying to lead, and you know what I'm saying, we absolutely do have to stay strong for it. We gotta keep it together. I don't know whether people want to believe it or not, like you know what I'm saying, not saying that you can't cry, it will happen eventually. You know what I'm saying? However, like when you have emotions, sometimes you gotta hold that together for the sake of family
Situation.
with your family that you're leading. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you playing again, I'm probably gonna be anyway.
Oh my God! What is
You know, the kids are more emotional. So
Yeah, that's
they
what
said the
we
man
got
is breaking down.
Yeah.
I'm saying about a situation. Now the whole family is breaking down. Like you know what I'm saying? The females can't hold it in as much. You know what I'm saying? So like,
So you feel like you gotta teach young boys that early.
Yeah.
Or is there an age
there's
where,
ways
where
to
they-
express your emotions in the public and in the private.
I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
It is because like either way you lose. Like you don't get to fully like express what's going on inside of you. And sometimes like if you don't learn how to do that, like that could be your downfall.
And that also
But-
ties into being emotionally present in a relationship. Because it's like if you are always suppressing all these emotions to keep it together for your relationship or for your family, like when the time comes to actually express it, you've spent years keeping it in. So then now when the time comes, you don't even know how to put it out there.
That's
You're
different.
not-
I feel
How
like
is that
that's different because it's like that is a like it's different. Like I feel like like Ty said, like you express a man expresses his emotion based on the situation. Like you don't like a situation where like a relationship, for instance. That's when your emotions as a man doesn't matter. The overall picture of the relationship should matter more than your own emotions and how you're processing whatever's going on in the situation. You know what I'm
It
saying?
doesn't matter.
Like
You said your emotions as a man in a relationship.
no, like
What do
the
you mean?
way that you're. Alright, so you said if a man's keeping his energy bottled up, like as far as a relationship, and he's not communicating things that are going on or wrong in the relationship, but it's there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I basically was just saying like, not even in a relationship. I'm just meant in general. Like if whatever's going on, men don't just be like, when you're having a bad day about X, Y, Z, they're not expressing it how women are. So whenever there's internal things going on with men, you guys were saying you keep it all in because you stay strong for your family.
Because I think it's more of a like as a man you have to learn a different form of energy conversion.
Yeah.
Like you can't like as a man you have to learn how to convert emotional energy. Emotions are nothing but energy. You have to learn how to promote and have you not saying that you shouldn't feel it, but you shouldn't react on these emotions. Like you should always be able to think through and feel through these emotions and then be able to analyze these emotions from the inside and outside perspective to understand like, okay, this is why I'm thinking like this is why that. And I feel like once you arrive to that conclusion as a man, then you should understand how to convert that into drive, into something. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be able to convert that. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's instead of a lot of men nowadays, like y'all said, they niggas just act on emotions. Like they get mad, like a girl don't talk to them, they get mad, all in their feelings, and they can't just take it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, yeah, like they don't know how to process the emotions instead of just reacting on it. Like it's like they were programmed to react on the emotions instead of.
And that's because why?
What?
They don't know how to process emotions. Why?
But processing
I think it goes
emotions.
back
To the beginning.
to the beginning.
But processing emotions and expressing them is two different things. It's two different parts of the emotional process. Like processing emotions and
Part of
that's-
processing the emotion is feeling it
It's
and
Yeah.
understanding it.
And how you
And-
express it.
Oh, right.
But
Just like with
expressing it
women-
and processing it. Once you
Expressing
process
it.
the
You can
emotion,
process it internally without stating anything.
right,
The expression is the latter.
is the ladder. That's the actual. You see what I'm saying?
Usually,
Like,
like after you process it,
right,
and you choose to now communicate, then that's expressive.
right. So I feel like instead of people doing that, the processing part, they just skip right to the reaction part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what all of this shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas just get right to the reactive part of it instead of understanding the process.
Because they weren't allowed to ever process and figure out why they even felt the way that they did.
Maybe
But-
or in the
So, and I think this is what I think y'all are misunderstanding. You're saying that we weren't allowed. You never said we weren't allowed. It's just in the ways that females do it, or just not going to do it.
Well, not you guys specifically,
Mhm.
but there are families and little boys grow up. I've literally seen it myself. And it's like, I've heard, you're a boy, don't cry. It's like, so that's what we were saying, like being taught when you're allowed to cry, when you should cry. Like when it's valid to cry as a boy, like you're 3, 4, 5, 6, young as hell. It's like, you're a boy, you can't cry. It's like, why? That's where we think that all these things come from. Like,
I saw someone tell their 4-year-old son to man up. Literally.
Son,
Like, what do you mean?
I'ma
What do
tell
you
my
mean
son
man
that.
up?
Like, listen,
At
I'm
4
gonna tell you
or
something.
more.
Submissive.
Like,
At
I
4?
just feel like
There's
the phrase "man up" isn't bad. It's what is the situation?
It's this
The kid
everything's
fell and started
situational.
Right.
Everything is
I feel like if you
situational.
fall and you get a cut and you're bleeding and it hurt, like you're
Yes.
allowed to cry about it.
Exactly. The
Cry
kid.
about it, dust it off. You don't need to cry about it for 20, 30 minutes.
No.
Like you don't need to keep
But
crying
But
about
that's the
it.
thing. The kid literally tripped. The man picked him up by the arm. Well, the kid's literally hanging there. He's like, man up, stood him up, and then they kept
That's
walking.
different. Like I don't like.
And I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute, is he okay? Like, did he get hurt?
So that's what we're
Never
talking
saw him
about.
get
Like
it, so.
things like that is where we feel like now when you're a 30-year-old man, you don't know how to express yourself because you've been told since a boy
Or even
like
the
you're not allowed to
basics
cry.
of things, like you can't even figure out how to process the basics of things that they should have been able to figure out how the hell they gonna do that are bigger.
Intricate, yeah.
Like once they get older, they're not. They didn't even know how to process when
I
they
would say
fell
they
and
never
were hurting
processed it.
themselves.
They just
They
were
were
told
like,
to man up.
they're
you're
like,
a
man up,
boy.
like, okay, it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
Boys don't cry. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah,
Especially
like-
from the older
Yeah.
generation.
I feel like after you teach your son the process, you can say man up.
100%.
After,
I agree with
yeah.
that.
If you got a son, he's 5, 6, 7, 8, you already didn't instilled this process into him. That's when I feel like you fall down, crying, look. That's when you can say, man. Like I feel like that's what I said. It's situational. Like it's not understanding. Like it's not
and
trying
that's
to be
and that's
dismissive.
what I meant about like not sorry to cut you off, but that's what I meant when I was saying earlier. I'm gonna ask, all right, why are you crying? Okay, go through the whole process with them, and then you, all right,
Then
now
at the
you're
end,
okay now.
Yeah. So
Like-
that's what I'm saying. I feel like from there, then you can get him to understand now why I'm saying this after you see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no matter what, a little black boy is growing up in the hardest condition.
Mhm.
No matter what, like we gotta remember that it's the hardest in anywhere in the world for an American black man. I don't give a fuck. We have the hardest life out of any man on the fucking planet. Any man on the planet, we have the hardest life. So it's like we gotta understand that them going into this, you can't be you will get ate up. This world will eat you up, spit you out, and it's not going to give a fuck about you. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like there's a level of you got to make sure he understands a little bit of that,
Yeah.
while also understanding you're always loved. It's like that's a really hard balance.
But that's a
Like,
balance
not
that a lot
easy.
of parents lack.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
because
not.
they
That's
don't
why I
do
said
that,
that's
though.
not no easy.
But
I'm
then
not
if
saying
it's
that's
not
no
that,
easy
there's a
shit.
lot of unfortunately there's a lot of families that don't even have a father. They have
Right.
just the mom, so they don't even
Yeah.
get that
And-
perspective to begin with.
And me and him was he just sent me something on my phone. Look at this. Listen to these stats, y'all. Listen to these
Crazy.
statistics. This is crazy. I said, wow. They said in the next like 5 years, they said 3 out of 5 fathers are going to just disappear. 3 out of 5 black fathers is going to either going to go to jail,
That's a
they're
whole
going
lot
to
of
die.
That's a big
Something-
number.
That's
But think of it, that's what's happening. Like me and him, he works at the jail. You know how many niggas we went to high school
That you're
with
probably seeing.
that are in jail? I'd be like, boy, he be telling me, I'd be like, damn, that's where everybody at.
Yeah.
Niggas is no
They're either
most
there or
niggas,
dead.
niggas are dead or in jail. I'd be like, damn, that's where that nigga been at. I'm
one
like,
out of 20
yo,
people
like
might
it's
be doing
really
something.
like you really gotta think like, and then I had that me and him was talking about the perspective, like you gotta even think like it's systematically designed for a black man to not be able to make no money.
Mhm.
Everything is designed for you to fail, and for you to feel like there is no way out. You see what I'm saying? Even though there's always a way out, but they force your mind to believe it's a box. You know what I'm saying? So they force you to believe you can't open this motherfucker. But at the same time, they're tricking us and making us think that that's all there is. I know niggas that have said, I'm about to go to jail because I don't got nowhere else.
That's really that's just sad.
Niggas will do some shit because they don't have nowhere else to go because they don't feel like they have no opportunity. They apply for jobs. There's no resources. They can't, like, it's systematically, they going to deny black applications. As soon as you take black on there, they only take them but so many. You know what I'm saying?
I put other.
Me too.
Hey, yo, he said the same thing.
I put other as
He
well.
said
I
the
think we
same
all
thing.
should be putting other.
Yeah, like it
Or when it
says,
says prefer not to answer, like I actually
yeah,
don't.
prefer not to answer. Because it's like they're pushing us into this where it's like, that's why I said
We're
most
pushing us
black,
into that box.
yeah, most black men are in jail.
And that just ties into
Did-
the conditioning of the schooling system, like I was saying.
Yeah,
How we are in school 5 days a week, 2 days off, how everything's set up. It's literally like a jail.
Even down
You're
to when you
conditioned
hear
that from kindergarten,
Mhm.
preschool.
Walking the line.
Yep, straight line, the rules in school and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
And then even some of the
Then they don't even teach us
Even
about
the
finances. They don't teach us
lunches.
about credit. They don't teach us about things that we need to in life.
So, well, if
To
you
the
figure
system.
it out,
They
great.
keep
But if
you
you
in a
don't,
certain place.
Literally.
They teach you to go to school, get in debt for.
Oh,
how
I'm
many
sorry.
thousands of dollars.
It says 72% of black children are born to single mothers. The majority of those children will see contact with their fathers drop sharply within a few years. About a third of dads will basically just disappear from the black community.
And that's an old article.
What year was that?
So that number
This
could be
is
a lot
21.
bigger now.
that far off. though.
But on the flip side, though, I feel like in like the black community, I feel like the daughters are raised more so how the sons should be. Like
Yeah.
when it, especially when they have like when you have single moms, like
But that's there. But that's done subconsciously because it's like a woman understand how hard it was for her, so she's going to teach her daughter to be. You see what I'm saying?
So
But
better.
it could be. But there's no dad to teach the son how hard it is. You see what I'm saying? Like there is not a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. You see what I'm saying? Like so, there's a lacking here. Like the woman is growing up tough in the way she needs to, but the little boy is not because he doesn't have that person to show him how to do it.
Yeah, that's a
You know what I mean?
systematic design because they had to kick the fathers out of the household for the woman to get government assistance what they needed. You know what I'm saying? So even after I think it was the 80s, there was a rapid decline in the man in the household. You know what I'm saying?
1981, baby.
But that
So,
still don't make
Kennedy
sense to
era.
me. Because like if the mom is able to teach the daughter responsibility, why wouldn't she be able to teach her son that?
Responsibility.
If the daughter get
Program
chores,
different.
if the
Responsibility.
daughter get chores, the son needs to get chores.
But that's
If the daughter
different. That's
get a
responsibility.
job at 16, the son needs to get
That's
a job.
that's a virtue, but you can't teach a little boy how to process emotions and urges and instincts that come from being a man. Like you can't teach him how to because you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. Like he can't. I can't tell.
Sorry, I didn't mean to react like that.
But I can't teach my daughter what it's like to go through a period.
Because we're not going to have the same experience at the end of the day. No matter what we teach them, we naturally just don't have the same experiences. So if we have a man trying to tell a woman how they need to grow up to be a woman, it's not. You can give some good points and
No,
stuff.
I'm
but
not
you're a
saying.
woman,
I'm
you're
not
going
saying
to-
how
Right.
to be.
and vice versa.
I'm not saying a woman could teach her son how to be a man. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that. But you could teach him the basic life
But
necessities.
that is yeah, no, you're
Like,
supposed to do
don't
that.
coddle him
And
and your son can live at home forever, but your daughter gotta go get a job,
But
and
I
go
think-
to school and get her own crib at 18.
But that's the issue right
I was
there.
on my crib at 18. My brothers lived with my mom until they was 21, 22. Like, I don't know. That's just how I see it.
But that's
I
the
feel
thing
like-
right there too, is like most, and again, it's most Black women, they keep their sons home. In my opinion, I think it's because they're missing their
The
Man.
man, exactly.
And
It's
their
subconscious.
is-
Everything's all subconscious.
Exactly.
Like that's why I said it's not even a woman realizing she's doing it. It's just the
Missing that
feelings, the
man figure.
emotions. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you can get lost in it sometimes. Not saying that you can go in and out of it, but at the same time, it's how much do you go in and out of that and be consciously aware that I gotta make sure I'm on top of these things and not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not easy for anybody. Like that's not life happens. You go through your own emotions as a parent still. You know what I'm saying? Like so you gotta. That's not easy.
But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because moms do be like, some of these boy moms be creeping me out.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
I was just about to talk about that.
I see.
Crazy.
Did y'all see the photo? I got a name. God, like, well, oh well. Y'all see the photo with Just Hilarious with her son?
Mhm.
So she had, I think she took a maternity picture before when she was pregnant with him.
Yeah.
And then when he was like 5-6 years old or something, she was like naked and like she was holding him like this. And I was just like, all right, now you're doing the most. Like, what was the point of that?
I can understand if the baby was like a newborn baby,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know what
No,
the
like
heck is
she
going on.
waited till he was like 4, 5, 6 years old or something like that. And she was like, they had Jordans on. She was naked.
Jordans and naked? Sorry, I don't know something point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm not
And she was, damn.
Jordan's a naked.
So who got a phone so y'all can see the pictures?
Jordan's a
But-
naked, that's crazy.
Like,
Not my
she
phone?
was sitting like on, she
was
was
there
sitting
a
like
caption?
this.
Was there like, what was the like? I'm just not.
You know how moms aren't like my son, my everything.
That's just
My
very
papa-
weird.
Yeah, like
Creating baby boys.
these boy moms be creeping me out sometimes.
They are crazy. I thought you were gonna bring up that video
Of
of her
The
saying
daddy.
that. Yeah,
saying
She
she
was
was,
saying that
calling
her-
her son daddy.
yeah. And she was like, I've been calling him daddy because I don't know, when I looked at him when he came out, he was just so fine. So that's my little daddy.
No.
That's what she said. Her son's like 16 at this
That's
point.
wild.
They were at dinner, her and her son.
That's wild.
And she was like showing him and like flaunting him and recording him. It was just like, yeah, this is my little daddy.
Yeah,
I
she's
just
like,
when I
"You want
birthed
some
him, he
steak,
just was so
daddy?"
handsome and so fine. Like that's just my little daddy. Like I'm like,
I would've-
literally,
I
like,
would have stopped being.
I'm about to puke.
I can't find the picture.
Disgusting.
I'm gonna have to cut you
And
off.
there's a lot of women like that about their sons. And I feel like it just goes back to they didn't have that husband, father type of man.
Mhm.
So they're like
My man now.
getting
They're
it
looking
from
for
their
it somewhere
son.
else. Yeah.
it's
Never going.
Go check the Discord out, y'all.
He said,
Prospect
Wait,
Chain
he was like-
001 Prospect Holding Corporation. Go check out the Discord. We're gonna put all the content, everything that will be released, everything will be on the Discord.
You can give us some topic
Yes.
ideas that you want to have us talk about.
If you have any questions about anything, you can message us there too. We can bring it up on the podcast.
Live streams coming soon.
And we're gonna link everything below in the description. So check that out. Make sure y'all catch this next episode because we're about to give it to you like boom, boom, bam.
Because we about to continue this shit.
Today.
'Cause
What?
we got time today, man. We got time. Bow, 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 bow.
That was
What's up, y'all? I'm Ty.
Hey y'all, I'm Nay.
Bean is a beautiful daddy.
Sean.
What?
Is that a piercing
on the side.
This is, yeah, that's a piercing.
connected to your glasses?
No, it's connected to my ears. The
You're going to just hear your voice in the background. You got to be here. Yeah.
I feel like it should be on my thing, but it's gonna swing and hit stuff too much.
All right. I'm basically done.
The fucking plant, bro. The hanging plant outside of my. Bro, I took the hanging plant down to water it, bro.
What
There
do you
was
do?
the bird's nest in the eggs in there, bro. Little polka dots, little white,
Why
little
would you
baby
sit it on
blue.
the ground?
I sit it on the ground, Benny.
Why would you do
I sit on the ground.
that?
Bro, this nigga Scar is lurking. Bro, he's lurking.
He smells them.
Bro, I go in the crib to fill the pail
You
up
set
with
that
water.
shit up.
He gave him
Like
some.
Mary Lou
He's probably
Lamb,
here
I go
taking-
fill the pail up with water. I come back.
Terrible.
Bro, he's lurking, bro. Bro, I look in the joint, bro. The eggs is gone, bro.
You knew that
They're
was
gone, bro. All the
egg,
bro, all 5 eggs is gone.
You should have knew that.
This
was gonna
nigga
happen.
Scars
They're
just
like vultures.
like you're a psychopath. You are smart. You're highly intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
They tell people like when you're outside, walk with confidence and walk with
Yeah.
Whoa. And be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Because usually people who get targeted.
They're looking for that. They're scanning. You know what I'm saying? They're people watching.
And I seen something where